Here are my initial thoughts on the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, so let's get this video started. Alrighty, so first and foremost, a huge shout out over to the team at Insta360. Thank you so much for sending me over this Insta360 Ace Pro 2 and this multi-mount that I'm using to record this video right now on top of an SD card, so I'm able to store all the clips that we're going to be using for today's video. If you want to buy yourself an Insta360 Ace Pro 2, use the code on the screen right now, and in the description down below there's going to be a link. Click on the link if you want to buy yourself the Ace Pro 2. It's going to be a discount and you're also going to be helping out the channel a lot. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity. For formality's sakes, this video is in collaboration with the team over at Insta360, and this includes a paid promotion. Because Insta360 is sending me over the camera, it is applicable for that feature under the guidelines at YouTube. So with that being said, let's begin the video now. Okay, so first off, if you haven't noticed already, I do not have any external mic of any sorts connected via Bluetooth or a transponder of any sorts. I'm simply using the audio quality from the action camera in itself. And one thing's for certain, I've already noticed that the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 has fantastic built-in camera audio quality. It's really great because it does come with a windscreen in itself. I'm going to be showing you what that kind of looks like in the B-roll now. And you know what, for what it's worth, it's really nice because sometimes having to connect your little mic there, whether it's the Insta360 mic, I'll probably get that at some point in time, or even the Mic Mini, it can be a bit of a hassle because it's a little process in itself, and sometimes you get caught up in between things and then you hear it in the microphone. Having the straight up point and shoot feature and just using the audio quality from the camera is nice, and it sounds great as you can hear. So yeah, it's definitely a pro for the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 for sure. So one thing I forgot to mention too as well is I do have wind resistance on the audio quality for the built-in Insta360 Ace Pro 2 volume. Next time I'm gonna try voice enhancement for the next video, but for this one we'll stick to wind reductions. So let's just continue to the video. Now let's talk about the resolution with the camera in itself. Much like when I use the DJI Action 5 Pro, I like to put my settings into 4K 30 frames per second because for social media 30 frames per second is the best, because that's what all the platforms use, like TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, and so on and so forth. It's optimized for that. It's the best. This camera does support resolution up to 8K frames per second, which is pretty wild. Although in this day and age of 2025, most screens are up to 4K. If you hold on to this camera for a long time, 8K can be the new norm. So just keeping this camera and be able to switch to 8K when it's the normal is a great option to have. And on top of that too as well, for this camera specifically, I do use iLog. One thing to note for sure is that it's only an 8-bit color grading, not 10-bit. So that's something to definitely keep in mind for sure. But you are still able to color grade on this camera, and for what it's worth, it's still fantastic. So I wouldn't bat an eye necessarily for that specifically. On that topic too as well, I think you do need to keep the HDR feature on. I did shoot a few clips without the HDR, and the colors do not look nearly as nice versus when you do shoot iLog with HDR. So please do keep that in mind if you're deciding to buy the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 and kind of want to shoot out and about. So our next topic is going to be about the user interface and the UX UI of the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. To be honest, out of the three cameras, to be specific, GoPro Hero 13, DJI Action 5 Pro, and the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, I think the Ace Pro 2 has the best UX UI. Very super easy to understand system. Go between this way, that way, this way, and this way. You'll be able to navigate the menu systems really super easily. And in fact, a bonus thing to add as well is if you want to use just normal shooting, there's a variety of different features that you can use, like time-lapse, stuff like that. And I think there's actually more than GoPro or even DJI Action. So that's something to definitely keep in mind. I think this camera is the most fantastic in terms of pick up and shoot. Like just being able to get into the camera settings and then being able to shoot right away is very simple in terms of this camera. So if you are a beginner vlogger or want to shoot something really easily, I would highly recommend the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 because I think it'd be the best choice for beginners. Now to touch a little bit more in terms of iLog color grading, as I mentioned before, it's only 8-bit. You are able to adjust your settings. I'm actually going to talk about that in a separate video. Be on the lookout for that. And if you haven't already, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And again, check out the affiliate link. It's going to help the channel a lot for Insta360. Okay, as you notice, I'm a bit further and there's a reason for that. We're going to be testing out the stabilization for the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. My initial thoughts in regards to it. There's like 3 different choices you can choose from. So one being low and then standard. This is the one I'm using right now. And then there's sort of like high. I think high is not necessarily necessary. I think standard is going to be more than fine. And let's do a bit of a test right now. Alrighty, so straight bang on. We're going to go ahead and do a jump right now. Now, if you ask me, that looked pretty stable, and I'm going to throw the action camera right now too as well. and that also looked pretty good as well. Remember that this is an action camera, so you can submerge it underwater under a certain amount of depth, and you can kind of just throw around this camera a little bit. It's really rugged and powerful, like it's not kind of like weak in any way. Again, that is a pro to the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. It seems like the stabilization is great and fantastic, and the system in itself is really robust, so definitely something to keep in mind. Okay, so right now I'm in like a pretty decent area. I want to go ahead and try out the 50 megapixel camera. So we're gonna go ahead and take a quick snap of whatever's in front of me right now, and then you'll be able to see that right now. Okay, as you can see, the quality of the photos are actually really nice, and I see a lot of people on like reels and stuff like that use this as an actual camera on their like daily use for trips and stuff like that. So I totally understand why they do that, and that's the case. So something to keep in mind as well if you decide to purchase the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Overall, fantastic camera for sure. And another thing to mention too as well is I am currently using linear depth. There's a variety of different features like wide and stuff like that, but I think in terms of this specific vlogging need, it's sort of like review need, linear is kind of good and the best in terms of vlogging. So if you're choosing out your range of depth, choose wisely, but I think for the most part you should be fine with linear. Okay, another thing too is that Insta360 also has a built-in app. It's actually a really nice app. I do actually think I like it more than DJI's, but I'll look into it a little more. These are my initial thoughts after all, but you can use the app, and the beauty is there's also a PC app version that I recently just installed. I'm going to test out how to grade this video properly because there are two ways. One, via the app, or two, you can just do it from your own editing software. I'm going to see in terms of flow which method is the best, and in the next best settings video, I'll get back to you and decide what's the most suitable for most people. But of course, you're free to choose however you want to or however you please. Just in case if you're interested, this is 4x3. I think the cool thing is you can kind of modify it for shorts using this method or just stretch it out if you need a bit more space. But yeah, 43 is also an option on the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. Alrighty, so now that we're back in the land of 16:9, this is currently the color grade or iLog mode, and now we're going to check out and see the normal mode. Okay, so this is currently the normal mode. I think for ease for myself, so I don't mess up any of the settings, this is just pure video mode, but that's basically normal mode. This setting is normally optimized for low lighting conditions, but right now it's ultra bright, so that's not necessarily a problem right now. So if you compare this shot and in the B-roll right now, a normal color graded shot in the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, I would still say that the color graded shot is a lot better than this original one. But in hindsight, if you were to compare this to the GoPro 13 or GoPro Hero 13 and also the Action 5 Pro, I would say this is the best out of the three. Alrighty, so for formalities, this is the original video mode, and I don't know if it's that much different from pure video and normal video, but I just wanted to show you guys the difference just in case if you want to see in general and you decide to want to buy this camera. Again, I will say that this is probably the best original video out of like Hero 13 and the Action 5 Pro, so it's honestly something to think about. Yeah, this camera is OP. Like, I do enjoy this camera genuinely a lot, and I would highly recommend it for most people. And another thing to mention is the actual build quality and kind of the pro features in regards to it. It is the biggest camera out of the three. There's a windscreen at the bottom of the camera, and I think that's only possible just because the camera is a little on the robust and bigger side. You can like put it on in the bottom, slide it in, off. It's really a thing of beauty. That's how I'm able to just record this video without like an external microphone. It's great. Also on the notes too as well, you're able to fit this like huge screen. You'll see in the B-roll right now. This is like one of the reasons why I comfortably know I'm always in the center of the video, just because I'm looking at the camera, but I'm also looking at the screen at the same time. So I have multiple views of the scene, and it's really reassuring that nothing's gonna go wrong in post. So I think that's definitely a pro for sure, and it only fits the huge screen because of the size in itself. So I think flexibility wise it's great, and comfortability wise it's also great too as well. But yeah, if you're really thinking about buying this camera, I think it's a fantastic investment in itself. I do want to mention too as well, before we wrap up this video, this does have gesture control and voice control. So if that's something you kind of need in an action camera, this is kind of your action camera for you. So another thing to keep in mind as well is the Insta360 Ace Pro 2 does not include an SD card. So if you wish to record videos or take photos with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, you need an SD card separately to buy that from an external source, or there's going to be a bundle that has it as well. Please look carefully into that before buying this camera, and once you get that SD card, you're pretty much all set and ready to go for post-production editing, or if you want to keep the photos and videos just the raw footage in itself. yourself, so you'll be set from there. Alrighty, again, before we wrap up this video, I feel like I've talked about everything. Please take a look at the code that you'll see on the screen right now. It's also going to be in the description down below, alongside with the link to the Insta360 Ace Pro 2. If you really want to help out the channel, I would highly recommend clicking it. And if you do decide to buy the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, click on that link and buy it through there. You'll not only help me, but you'll probably help yourself on your journey in order to become a creator that you've always wanted to be. Very cheesy, but it might be low-key true if you're watching this video. Yeah, thank you again, Insta360, to the team for this collaboration and partnership. That being said, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Be on the lookout for the next video, and with that being said, peace out.